everyone, happy Sunday. I'm coming to you live a little bit different because it's Tracy's Sunday challenge and I haven't been going live the last few weeks. So I've done this really great card for this week's challenge and I really wanted to show it. And so I'm just moving around my lights to try and get a better look. Anyway, hopefully I don't have the same issues that I had last Thursday for my video was a bit blurry and grainy, which was awful. So hopefully that doesn't do it this time. I've gone onto my old phone and hopefully that will fix whatever the problem was. But anyway, so welcome everyone. My name's Tracy.bish. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. I go live every Thursday with a project, so hopefully you can come back and join me for that. But this week's challenge for Tracy's Sunday challenge is designer series paper. So all throughout the month of June, Stampin' Up have a really great sale of 15% off the designer series paper. This is a really great deal and it's the whole month, so you've got the whole month to work out what papers you would like and, you know, grab your hands on them. Because there are so many great papers, I've actually chosen a suite to use the papers with. So let me just show you that one. Now, if you're interested in the DSP sale, you can go over to my my online store and see all the ones that are available and, you know, the new prices for them throughout the month. But don't forget, make sure you do it this month because it's only on sale this month. So I'm using the Countryside Inn suite for today's card. I think this is a really pretty suite. Reminds me of the Blue Willow, so some of you may have that. My mum has that, so this suite reminds me of that. There is beautiful DSP. There's a big stamp, and I was actually really surprised. Now this, I'm actually borrowing this bundle from my mum. She bought it, so, but I was really surprised. This is one stamp. It's not multiple stamps, so that's super fun. And then there's also some dies that go with it. And there's an embossing folder with this suite as well, but we're not using that one. So I just wanted to show you, it's on page 62, 63 of the annual catalogue, if you want to have a look at that later on. I'm also using, so let me bring those few things in. So I've got that beautiful DSP, which I have shown it before. See, I've got it cut into strips. I've got some projects on the go. Hi Judy, how are you? Absolutely gorgeous. So you've got Night of Navy, Balmy Blue, Boho Blue. What else is there? There's so many colours in this one actually. But look at the designs. Really intricate designs and then some great patterns as well. And you've got quite a few animals. Birds, rabbits, foxes. The fox is absolutely gorgeous. Let me tell you the colours. Balmy Blue, Boho Blue, Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy. So I missed Misty Moonlight. But some great blues. If you like blues, this is going to be a really great DSP pack for you. Like I said, we've got the Countryside corners stamp set and then the matching dies, which work really well. So we're going to be using those. And I've also brought in, because that set doesn't have any sentiments or anything like that, I've brought in the Seasonal Branches bundle, also available in the annual catalogue, which I thought would go really well because there's birds in the DSP that we're using today and there's a bird in this one, so that's why I went with this set. All right, let me show you the card that we're going to create today. Welcome everyone. It's a bit of an impromptu video, so I'm glad that some people were able to join me. But I'm using just the DSP as the card. Just look at that. So cool. So it's a piece of 6 by 12, so you use half a piece of 12 by 12, and just a really very, very simple card. I'm letting the DSP really show off how beautiful it is. So we're going to get started with this one. We're going to do some die cutting first and stamping. So I need to get out this stamp. Now because I'm doing a few layers here with the stamping, I don't know how well you can see that in the background, but each of those layers have stamping around them. So I'm actually going to bring in my Stamparatus for this one. And just to make it easy for me, when I did create this card, I actually used scraps of cardstock, but it also used quite a bit as well. So I've just lined up my stamp in the Stamparatus. Now the Stamparatus is no longer available through Stampin' Up, but there are stamp positioning tools on the market that you can purchase. So there are plenty of them out there. So because we are layering up basic white thick, Night of Navy and boho blue, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stamp onto my grid paper here. So let me grab the Night of Navy, that's the colour that we're using today. So I'm just going to ink up the stamp and stamp down onto my grid paper. And this is going to help me line up all my DSP, all my cardstock. So I also want to grab, I've just got some repositioning tape. I'm going to pop a little bit down there. Now I don't have the dimensions anywhere at the moment. I don't have a blog post. The dimensions aren't in the description here. I will try and do that some point in the next few days. This is a little bit of an impromptu live, so I haven't really thought about it. I didn't get anything sort of done. I created this card and I really wanted to share it with you, so I will get that done in the next few days. So I'm going to start off with the boho blue, and for this one I actually want to stamp this design in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this down, and I've just popped that into that repositional tape and then stamp down. My husband just got home, so the dogs are super excited. And then we have that positioned in the middle. So this is a great way of not using, wasting your cardstock just by doing it this way. And you can keep this in your stamp case, or even your die case, whichever you would prefer, and that way you can keep reusing it. So just making sure that this is always tucked into the corners, that way when you pop it down it's going to stamp the same every single time. So the Night of Navy cardstock, we're going to use those little flowers on the edge, and I know that's really hard to see. There we go. Oh, thank you, Judy. Yeah, this is just something I've learned by stamping on the grid paper. There's probably other ways to do it, but yeah, I don't like wasting a lot of things, and this is a great way of not wasting your cardstock, unless you're going to be able to use it for something else. Okay, so now we're going to ink up again. I need those little flowers inked up, so I'm not really inking up the whole of the stamp, just around that flower section. And then we can stamp this one down. So we have our 2 layers done. I'm also going to be stamping basic white thick for that very end one. And what I'm going to do, because this end one is this single stitched line, and I've got one big piece of cardstock, but I need to die cut 2 of those same size dies, as well as we're going to do some stamping with both some little flowers and that bird as well. So let me line this back up again. I need the single stitched, so I'm going to sort of right up along that edge, so again I'm not wasting any cardstock. Inking up. So lots of layers. I love this set. It's got lots of layers. You can layer DSP, cardstock, whatever you would like. You can stamp it or not stamp it, but I love nesting dies as well. And there we have it. We've got that layer that I needed. Okay. Oops. There goes my magnets. And that repositional tape is not Stampin' Up either, but you can get that in crafting markets and all that sort of stuff, and I recommend having that because it doesn't stick your cardstock. I believe you can also do it with your liquid glue, but you have to let that dry and go tacky. And it's great if you've got time for that, but I don't know. Not so much time for me. So we're finished with that one. Let's come back in with that basic white thick. I'm going to grab some of those stamps that we'll need as well. So that bird, and then there's a little flower. Now, I think that the bird goes really well with that DSP, and I think the flower does as well. So let me just bring that in and show you. So you can see there's a few different birds there, and then there's quite a few different flowers. So you could certainly use a different stamp set that you may have already. Stampin' Up has lots of flower sets as well as lots of bird sets. And then for this one, I've got two birds, and then I've added 2, 4, 6 flowers. Whether you can see that down there, it's sort of hidden with that DSP, but it creates a nice little detail as well. So 6 flowers, 2 birds. We're going to do this really, really quickly. And before we die cut, I've actually just used my Wink of Stella and my ink pad to colour these flowers and birds in. So I'm just going to do that really quickly. So I want to add a nice little blue chest to the bird. I think I need new Wink of Stella. So I want it to be quite dark towards the sides, and then just bringing that colour out a little bit. The Wink of Stella adds a nice little sparkle and shine. So if you've never coloured with your Wink of Stella, try it because it's so cute. It's like a water painter or a water pen, but it just adds that extra sparkle. So I'm not going to do this one quite as dark as my sample card, but it'll be fine. I say that went a lot darker then. Now if you're doing this at home, my tip's going to be take your time, layer your colours. I get live and I just sort of rush because I don't want you guys to get bored and then leave. So sometimes it's just, I do things a little bit quicker than I would do if I was just creating this card at home without the camera going. And I'm going to just grab another Wink of Stella because I don't see a lot of shimmer or shine on that, and I really do want to have that extra sparkle. Oh, that's better. Okay, we can definitely see a lot more sparkle now. So I'll just go over the bird. With the flowers, I'm just adding a little bit of colour from the centre and dragging it out. I don't want to fully colour in those flowers, just add a little bit of colour. And if you do this, like if you stamp and then use your Wink Stella straight away, you can push that colour that you've already stamped down a little bit out, which works really well. So how's everyone's weekend going? You having a relaxing time, or you're getting lots of jobs done? I crafted yesterday, and I tell you what, I did one project all day. I don't think I was really in the mood for it. Things weren't working out for me, so it was really frustrating. Anyway, I got the project done, but I'm not completely happy with it. Oh, Judy said it's her favourite DSP and she'll be ordering more. Awesome. Yeah, it's a really, really nice DSP. I totally agree. It was one that, when I first bought it, I wasn't sure whether I was going to enjoy it, but yeah, it's really, really pretty. Okay, so we can start die cutting those pieces. I've got 2 flower ones there and a bird. I think there's only one bird. Yep. And then we also need those countryside blossoms. Is that what it's called? Oh, there you go. And also with our basic white, we also need to cut that smallest label as well. So we're using our 3rd largest, 4th largest, and 5th largest. Or if you're going the other way, we go the smallest, 2nd smallest, 3rd smallest, 4th smallest, whichever way you choose to look at it. So I'm going to just line these up. Trying to make sure that there is a good even amount all the way around, like so. We've got the sun shining today. I'm hoping to get some washing out. I've got all my sheets getting washed now. Actually, I think it finished, but I haven't. I went live instead of going and changing my sheets out. I'm just going to cut down that basic white cardstock so I can do the die cutting easily. So that one, and just that sentiment one as well. So there is lots and lots of die cutting on this one, but hopefully it won't take too long to get through. And I do need to cut out a 2nd plain basic white thick one, exactly like the same as this, but I didn't use the stamp this time for the inside. We're focusing on both the flowers and that bird on the inside. Hi, Marion. Yeah, it's a little bit, I wasn't sure whether I was going to do it or not, so I didn't really organise it very early, just in case I couldn't jump on. I have missed doing the Sundays with you all, though. I will say that. Just comes to time and whether you've got the time. So we do need to go through with all these flowers. I also need that last basic white thick one, just a clear, no stamping for the inside. I think that flower just moved. Oh well. So I think so far so good with, yes it did, damn, look at that. I might just have to cut that out a little bit closer. So far so good with the clearness of the video, which is great. I have no idea why it was so blurry on Thursday. I do apologise. I did have someone say that it was hard to watch, so yeah, it's never good, but you never know what to do, whether you just stop and start again, or if it's just the weather going on, you never know. And one last one, and we have 6. Hopefully I can salvage that one that I botched cutting out. And I can just pop him underneath in the inside bit. Alrighty, get rid of the machine. I'm going to grab my DSP, and it's 6 by 12 inch, and I'm going to use the same one I used previously because I've done the birds. Isn't this gorgeous? So pretty. Alright, so we're going to do some scoring. On the 12-inch side, we're going to score at 1 3/4, 4 3/4, 7 3/4. And for this, I'm just going to fold, this is the inside of the card. So that first fold at 1 3/4 folds backwards. Gives us that beautiful Night of Navy look. So you want to pick a DSP that has great contrast, which Stampin' Up usually do such a good job to make sure that they both contrast, so you can create these sorts of cards, but just make sure, because sometimes I've come across it and, you know, they don't work quite so well together. How easy is that? Card base. So simple. All right, let's bring in all our pieces. And I'm looking for that one flower, this one. Oh, I did a couple that weren't so good. So make it not look so much of a boo-boo. I'm just going to fussy cut around the stamped image, and that way we'll be able to pop that on the inside somewhere without too many issues. All right, I do need to stamp my sentiment, and I've gone with Happy Birthday Wishes. So I'm going to grab that out. And this is from the Seasonal Branches stamp set. Night of Navy ink. Perfect. All right, so we can start layering up all our pieces now. do need to find where I popped my Night of Navy and the boho blue. There we go. We do have all our pieces now. So I'm just going to layer our coloured cardstock together. It is beautiful DSP. Thanks, Judy. So I'm going to layer the Night of Navy down with the basic white thick over the top. I'm going to pop the sentiment down onto the boho blue, but then we're going to pop up these two together. Let's add some dimensionals. So maybe you could create this card using a different DSP that you have in your stash. You could use that as your challenge for this week. So if you're not aware of my challenge each week, every Sunday I create a challenge for you. And it's a very simple thing. You just create a card or a project. I'm going to pop up one of these flowers as well as one of our birds. I think I'm going to use this one for the front. And then all you need to do is just take a photo of it, go over to my Facebook page, and you pop it in that post. It's very, very simple. It's a great way to share your creativity with everyone. And it's just a lot of fun. There we go. And I'm going to pop this down on the front. Now you want to make sure that you're only adhering to the basic white piece onto this first flat where the Night of Navy is. So I just like to place it down where it's going, pop my finger down, and I know that I don't go anywhere past that. Otherwise it's not going to be a fun fold, it'll be glued shut. And I have done it before, yes. Okay. So I've just used my liquid glue for that. For our inside piece, we're going to sort of pop it more to the left because I want it to be not showing through. So if you popped it in the middle, you're actually going to see it, which is fine. If you don't mind that it's seen, that's completely fine. I just want to move it over just slightly, so I'm going to add some liquid glue towards the left, but in the middle of the card. Just make sure, yep, perfect. And then for the inside, actually I should have shown, yeah. Let's pop that like that. We're going to just glue down that little bird down the bottom. And then I want to arrange my flowers. So I want, actually I'm going to pop two up, two of my best ones. I'm going to pop some dimensionals down on. These are going to pop up over the top. And then these other three, we're just going to layer down with glue. So like so, and then we can pop these ones up over the top. They'll look so good. And then there's one last thing to add, which I think really just finishes off the card. I love Night of Navy. I think Night of Navy is such a classic colour. We'll go for males and females. And just looks really, really good. Oh, Judith asks if Marion started the marmalade yet. So Marion, I took a photo of your lemon tree and your orange tree and popped it up on social media. Judith asked if I was making marmalade, and I actually said that no marmalade will be made unless you're making it. As in Judith making it. because I know Marion doesn't make marmalade. So there we have the inside. Isn't that gorgeous? You could also stamp this one if you wanted to be stamped. I wanted to leave it plain. I just thought, you know, it would look nice plain. Okay, to finish it off, I'm going to bring in this gorgeous Night of Navy bordered ribbon. And we're just going to do a quick little cute bow. Marion says she's not Paddington Bear. I think, Judith, you'll have to come out and grab some and make it for us. You are the jam maker. I think I want it a little bit smaller than that. Cute. So just cut down my tails just slightly. And then I'm going to use glue dots to adhere my ribbon down. So let's just add a glue dot to the back there. And there we have it. Fun fold card using the Countryside Inn suite, as well as the Seasonal Branches bundle. This is just a 12 by 6 piece of DSP as your card base. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? I think this card is absolutely stunning. So simple. You know, you've got a little bit of stamping, a little bit of die cutting, but you could change this to be something else. You know, change the DSP, change your bundle that you're using. A very simple and easy card to create, and it's just an absolute wow card, I think. So yeah, perfect. Oh, thank you, Judy. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so hopefully you'll spend a little bit of time in your craft room this week. You've got a week to create a card using the DSP, so I hope that I've been able to inspire you a little bit to create something cute and fun. And yeah, if you'd like to join in, just all you need to do is take a photo and then go over to my Facebook page and then pop it in the comments there. Very simple to do. And everyone loves to see what everyone's creating as well. All right, thank you so much for joining me on this well, impromptu live. I really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love it if you could give me a thumbs up. Maybe you could share the video, and if you haven't hit subscribe, you could do that as well. I would really appreciate that. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Sunday if you're here in Australia. And I'll see you all on Thursday. I don't think anyone has any comments or questions, so I'll leave you here. All right, everyone, have a safe and happy weekend. Bye-bye.